Have you ever felt that the rules imposed by society were too tight for you? That there was something innate in you that rebelled against dogmas and it's always been done this way? If the answer is yes, you will probably love Osho. Osho, born Rajneesh Chandra Mohan Jain, was not the classic guru with a white beard and a compassionate look who distributes wisdom with a sweet voice. Sure, he had a beard and spoke of wisdom, but he did so with an explosive combination of irony, provocation, and a freedom that made anyone accustomed to dogma and hierarchies uncomfortable. He was a spiritual master who loved to demolish rigid beliefs, with a smile on his lips and a laugh ready to explode at any moment. His speeches were often a mix of profound enlightenment and cutting jokes, capable of making one think and laugh at the same time. According to Osho, freedom is not something that is achieved externally, but an internal quality. The heaviest chains are not physical, but mental, conditioning, fears, beliefs instilled since birth. Be yourself is a mantra that many repeat, but few fully understand. Osho took it to the extreme. For him, being truly oneself meant completely freeing oneself from everything that has been imposed on us from the outside. But be careful, his was not an exaltation of anarchy or chaos. It was not a matter of rejecting every rule just for the sake of it, but of looking inside and discovering what was authentic and what was only the result of conditioning. His philosophy was an invitation to experiment, to live without fear of other people's judgment, to embrace one's own uniqueness. One of the most fascinating aspects of Osho is that he did not want to be followed blindly. He often said, "Do not believe me, experience yourself." This differentiates him from many spiritual leaders who impose an absolute truth. Osho instead wanted everyone to find their own truth. For him, dogmas were enemies of inner growth. Whether it was religion, politics, or even science, any rigid belief was seen as an obstacle to evolution. Not that it was against spirituality, on the contrary. But according to him, spirituality had to be lived spontaneously, freely, joyfully, and not as a burden made of rules and sacrifices. If you think meditation is about sitting still with your legs crossed and trying not to think about anything, Osho would have surprised you. For him, meditation was a vital, dynamic act, a celebration of life. He created techniques like dynamic meditation, which consisted of a series of movements, intense breathing, screams, and even laughter, aimed at shaking off accumulated tension and releasing pent-up energy. And if someone told him that meditation should only be silent and solemn, he would laugh. God is not a funeral, it is a celebration. This approach made his teachings accessible even to those who were not comfortable with traditional practices. Osho loved to provoke. He said outrageous things not only to shock, but to shake up dormant minds. He believed that people too often lived on autopilot, following rules and conventions without ever asking themselves if they really made sense. So, he used provocation as a weapon to make people think. One of his most famous mottos was, "Truth is not something to be believed, it is something to be experienced." With this phrase, he dismantled centuries of religious traditions based on blind faith, inviting people to seek their own direct experience of truth. Osho is known for his revolutionary visions of inner freedom and rejection of dogma, but also for his decidedly over-the-top lifestyle. A curious anecdote concerns his collection of 93 Rolls-Royces, which sparked quite a few controversies among his critics. When asked why a spiritual master would need so many luxury cars, he replied with his typical sense of humor, "Why not?" If my disciples want to give me Rolls-Royces instead of bicycles, who am I to refuse? For Osho, the issue was not material possessions per se, but the freedom not to be a slave to social conventions that dictate what is appropriate for a spiritual leader. The real problem, he believed, was not his Rolls-Royces, but other people's obsession with them. Another aspect that makes Osho unique is his refusal to be considered a traditional master. Although he had millions of followers around the world, he always said that he did not want disciples, but friends with whom he could share a journey of exploration. This paradoxical attitude made him even more fascinating. While some criticized him for his controversial positions, others loved him for his freedom of thought. For him, the truth could not be taught, only lived. Since his death in 1990, his message continues to inspire millions. His ashram in Pune, India, remains a center for meditation and personal growth visited by people from all over the world. Osho did not leave a religion, a belief system, or a dogma to follow. He left an invitation to inner freedom, joy, and self-discovery. And this is perhaps his greatest legacy, the possibility of being free, without fear, without chains, without externally imposed limits. If there is one thing we can learn from Osho, it is that true freedom begins within us. And it is not a freedom made of blind rebellion, but of awareness and authenticity. So, the next time someone tells you what you should do, think, or believe, stop for a moment. Breathe. Ask yourself, is this really what I want? Or is it just something I accepted without question? And maybe, just at that moment, you will hear a little laughter inside. Osho's laughter, saying, "Welcome to your freedom,"